It's on the phone. It's on the phone. Is it not? Is it on the phone?
That's my phone. I don't think this is confused.
Is that getting me?
It's like just getting your head. I need it like this. That's pretty good. Yeah, that's okay. Hello, this is Keith Oliver interviewing Melissa Oliver about what it. Sorry, I need to do that. Okay. Hello, this is Keith Oliver interviewing Melissa Oliver on what is it like having a gay son? What is it like having a gay son? Okay, the first question is, were there any tendencies or preferences as a child with your son that alluded to him possibly one day being gay in the future?
The only thing I can think of is when he was a little boy, most little boys want to play sports, baseball, basketball, football. And I put him in these sports, and he just never really seemed very interested in it. He done it, I think, as a way to probably make me happy, but it wasn't something that he really had any interest in doing. He liked to play outside, which, was your average little boy. But just knowing now what I know, when I think back, I kind of wonder if that's the reason he never really showed that interest in sports like most little boys do.
I'm sorry, can you do that all over again? Because I sniffled. And yeah.
You're killing me.
I'm sorry.
So you want to start from the top, or...
Hello? Yeah, we probably should finish this. That was a good answer, though. But, maybe you could give, some actual examples with it. Were there any tendencies or preferences as a child with your son that alluded to him possibly one day being gay?
One of the things I can think of is that most little boys like to play sports, and I had 2 other sons, and when I put all of my sons in sports, he just really never showed any interest in them. He didn't, he would go and play, but it just wasn't his thing, and I guess most little boys like to play sports, and he really never did like that. He liked to play outdoors, which kind of was typical for a little boy, but when it came to being on a team with other little boys and playing a sport, he just never really seemed to be, had much interest in that. When I put him in basketball, he basically just ran up and down the court, running and playing, and he never really knew where the basketball was, what he was supposed to do with it, and he would just kind of run and bounce off the mats on the side of the wall, and he just played, but he didn't really have enough interest in the sport to learn the rules and how to play the sport.
That's good, yeah, that was good. That's exactly what I was thinking of, too. That's exactly what I was thinking of. Yeah, okay. What is the happiest moment in your life? The saddest?
I've got 5 happiest moments in my life. Each one of my children, when the day they were born, was one of my happiest moments. I have to say I have 5 of those. Probably the saddest moment was when I decided to divorce my husband. That was a really hard time, and it was hard to break up a family. And I worried about what my kids would do, what I would do, how it would affect them, and I felt bad and felt guilty. But I was trying to do what I felt was best for me and for them. But I always wondered if something, if it would come back and be later on a bad mistake. So that was probably one of my saddest moments.
What is the happiest and saddest moment of your life? I was just saying that too, so I can edit it back in or whatever. What is your favorite memory of me?
Well, my favorite memories of you would be, just watching you play outside. 'Cause you was always a very outdoor type of kid. You loved to play outside. You loved to run and jump. And I couldn't hardly keep you inside at all when you were little. You liked to climb trees. And so that was just always enjoyable for me to watch you out there, having fun, smiling and laughing, and just being yourself. And you just always enjoyed that.
Okay. What is your favorite memory of me as a kid? What is your favorite memory of me? Freaking A. Okay. Is there something about me that you have always wanted to know but never asked?
No, I think pretty much anything that I want to know, I just ask you, and you're pretty honest with me. We have a pretty open relationship with each other that pretty much even before I wonder, I think you tell me. And then, it's like things that I never really even thought about or wondered about, you would come and talk to me about. So, but all together, I think we have a pretty open relationship. So I'm honest with you, and you're honest with me, and so anything I wonder about, I just come and ask you, and you always just tell me what's up with it.
Mm. Tell the Hickey story.
And just like a moment ago, I seen what looked like a bruise on your neck, and I of course asked you about it, and you didn't have any second thoughts about telling me it was a hickey, and not thinking, I guess, that I'm going to be upset about it. I know that you see men, or you see, the same sex, so I guess maybe some gay children might be like, they don't want to tell their mother, because, then that kind of picture gets in their head of them, in that act. And so, but you was honest with me and told me what it was, and I didn't think any more about it after that.
Okay. What was I like as a baby?
You were a good baby. You were very determined as a baby and a child. When you first learned how to crawl and you went after something, you could be told no 20 times, and you would keep going after it and keep going after it. So you're very determined, and when someone tells you no, it's like that makes you that much more want that item, which I think helps you in the long run, because I think that's why you have the personality that you have. You're determined to do what you want to do and to get what you want to get, and you're going to work hard for it, and no matter what anybody tells you, you're going to keep trying, which is a good quality to have.
What were my siblings like?
They were just your typical siblings. They're all very understanding that you are gay. I don't think none of them really have a problem with it. You were the middle of 3 boys, which puts you in an odd place. I mean, there was my oldest, and then my youngest boy, and you were stuck right in the middle of the both of them. So you probably were the least spoiled of all of them, because you weren't given a lot. You were kind of shoved to the side when the littler one came along, and then of course the older one always got his way. But all your siblings are very understanding of you being gay, and I don't think none of them think any more about it than anything. It's like you're their brother, and they don't kind of think any more about it than just that they love you for who you are. And but they were all just typical family. I think you had your oldest, and you're the middle, and then you had your youngest, and then the 2 younger girls in the end. So, but just your typical family, big family though.
When do you think my youngest sister, Kara, who is 6 right now, when do you think is a good time to tell her? Like, when do you think she's ready to understand, the concept of a homosexual?
Understanding. Probably not at this point. I would say she'd have to be old enough to understand, in general about relationships and about having sex and about, boys and girls. So, I mean, I think it would be the age that you would talk to kids about sex in general, 10, 9, 10 maybe. But again, I think it's not going to be anything that she's going to react to negatively. I think she'll be very positive about it because to her, you're just her brother, and she's not going to think of anything different than that. But probably not yet. I would wait a few years.
I'm going to say the question again just so I can edit it in. How do you think my youngest sister, Kara, will react to the idea of two men or two women being together? When do you think is a good time for a kid, 6 or 7, to be told, they have a gay family member? How has being a parent changed you?
Being a parent, I think, changes anybody. It makes you grow up. It makes you think about somebody other than yourself. You have a life that you're responsible for, and it just, I don't know, I mean, it just changes you all together. You have to think about that person over yourself. It makes you grow up really fast. But people make mistakes as they're younger, and then as they get older, they learn as they mature. And I made a lot of mistakes with y'all growing up, and I've learned and would do things way differently now, I think.
If you could do everything again, would you raise me differently? Hold on. If you could do anything, hold on. If you could do everything again, would you raise me differently?
No, I don't think I raised you wrong. I think I would do some things differently. Maybe, stick with disciplinary actions a little bit more. I mean, I was real bad about punishing, but then kind of going back on that punishment and being a little bit more stricter that way. But as far as me being the best parent that I could be and raising y'all with the morals and values that I tried to instill in y'all, I think all my children are good people, and they know right from wrong. And so as far as that goes, I think I raised all of you and taught all of you what you needed to be taught.
Okay. Try not to rock, because that might hit the camera. What advice would you give to a kid with unaccepting parents who was going through a difficult time? Maybe even like suicidal or something.
Well, I would just try to talk to them about being honest with themselves.
Oh my God. Freaking A.
I knew that was going to happen. Tell her I'll be right out.
Stay out.
I'll be right
don't
out.
Don't make any noise.
I've got one more question. I'll be right out.
You heard her. Don't make one peep.
I'll be right out.
One peep. Don't even start crying.
Come on, Keith. Let's just get this done. I'm just going to be like, I'm done. I'm done. Pretty much. I'm tired.
Okay, what advice would you give to a kid with unaccepting parents who was suicidal or just going through a difficult time?
I would just tell them to be honest with themselves and be open and just respect. I guess you have to respect everybody's point of view. Some people don't believe in some things, but just be honest and open with yourself and not try to live according to someone else's viewpoints or wishes, and just be as honest. And hopefully, you could tell your parents anything. I mean, and if you couldn't, then I don't know, that would be a very difficult situation. There are some people out there that probably have parents who aren't understanding, and if they couldn't find a parent or a family member that was understanding, to go to someone else that is understanding, that could help them, because everybody needs somebody to talk to have.
Is that it?
I think so. I hope so. If it's not, I'm done.